And you could use that money for.
I drove down there too.
Oh, you did?
Right, before you start into talking, I'm gonna ask. Once Rob gets the
Got it.
recording going.
Yep, it's
right?
going. Yep.
Before y'all get into it, I'm not gonna repeat the whole spiel, but you understand things are taking a little longer tonight because we're adopting a new method.
Fine.
Great. Yours should be a little less complicated.
We're hoping.
The single issue and not a.
Yeah,
Also, we have practice.
You're all warmed up, right? Good.
All right, Rob, would you introduce the hearing, please?
Certainly. This is land use case Z 22-11-02. Mary Jane Cito, did I pronounce that right?
yes.
And William Crenson are seeking variance relief from Enfield zoning ordinance article 4, section 402, paragraph N. To locate a modular storage shed within the prescribed setback to the street, side lot boundaries and waterfront buffer. I don't know if that's, is it a waterfront buffer or not?
No,
No.
Subject parcel is 0.65 acres located at 1 Sunset Walk, tax map 51, lot 77 in the Conservation Eastman subdivision zoning district. Subject parcel is owned by Mary Jane Acito and William Crenson.
Do you wish to make a presentation? Acito
we can,
Crenson? Or would you
sure,
like us simply to read?
I can explain it to you pretty well. The way our property is set up, if you're looking from the road, because you saw it from the road, we're looking at putting the shed on the right-hand side in a place that had an existing turnout that was already there. The house was built in late '70s and the addition was built in 2002. We purchased it in 2018. We can't put the shed in right in front of the house because of septic fields. We can't put it to the left because there's an incline that goes, and then the stream.
And big rocks.
Oh, yeah, we have a lot of rocks. Our whole lot is woods, that you saw. We don't have a blade of grass in our property.
I can give you some if you.
No, no, when we moved
We have
from New York,
drawings. I got rid of mine.
he left the lawnmower with the new owners of our house.
Tell me, if you will, how close to the setback line or the sideline is the shed intended to be?
It's going to be actually 6 feet, between 5 and 6 feet.
Please continue.
We have, and I'm sure the email is in here, there is, one property right next to us, Melanie and Paul Holzer, and Melanie said, go for it. And she gave us an email. At the time, we were looking at making it closer to the property line, but in fact, it's gonna be, don't quote me, but it's, cause it's modular, but it's gonna be between 5 and 6 feet from the property line. The shed itself is, done by the carriage shed in White River Junction. It is following the peak. Our house is very peaked. You saw it. I don't know if anybody else went by.
No, sorry.
It's okay. The shed is going to have the same peak, and we're going to ask to have the shed primed and not painted. So we're going to paint it ourselves, so it will be in constant with our house. So everything's gonna match, which is very important for Eastman.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yes, it is.
You have covenants that require you to construct the building in some sort of pattern language that matches the rest of Eastman.
Right, and
And fits your house.
we've already gotten approved by Eastman for this.
You have like a formal approval from them for this plan? Okay,
But it's based, the one section of it, they want to have your approval to add to their approval.
Sure.
You know,
Well-
kind of thing.
One of the things I saw is that that was an odd piece of land and all your driveways, there were 4 or 5 cars in there when I was there. Sunday, I think
Probably.
it was. It looks like everything that you can use is on fill. It isn't, you know, the driveways, the parking places, the houses, it's all fill and you can.
And
I almost-
where are you going with this?
Hmm?
Yes, so, like, I mean,
Yeah, well, the shed will also be on fill, right?
Yeah, it's,
Well,
it's
actually-
like that.
no, shit, I know what she's, but no, that's probably the one spot that, cause it's gonna be in that little cutout. That's
Yeah, but there was
actually,
a car there.
yeah,
Yes,
and that's where
yes.
it's gonna go.
Uh-huh.
Where that car was, but if you bring it out to the driveway, we have railroad ties holding, but they put railroad ties to support the fill from sliding down into the stream.
Yes.
Which is another reason why we didn't want to put it right there because of the weight and God knows how long that would last.
We'll put it on
So
the
that's
other
why it's
side.
on that one step, probably the only spot that's actually.
Where is the stream
Bill is
on your
really,
plan?
you can't walk and put lawn chairs and all that kind
No,
of stuff.
it's.
Oh, no.
burn.
This drawing, where it is, or help me on
Right. Uh-huh.
in here. Right,
There's
but
a
so-
little, it says gravel driveway
Yeah,
and there is a little turnout.
Like a,
is it outlined in yellow here?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. And so
That's-
that would be the footprint of it, where it says.
Oh, no, that's the turnout and the
Okay,
footprint is, the shed itself is part of that. But the shed
oh, I
itself,
see, so these little curvy things, do those represent the railroad tie?
no, the railroad ties are over here. On the opposite side of the house.
Yeah,
Okay,
see the lines, the elevation lines going down?
yes,
That's where the railroad ties are for
are
like half
moving
of,
those,
Right.
half the driveway's held up by that.
Within that yellow, you'll see an 18 by 20
right,
and that's our
that's
shed.
the thing.
Yeah, there,
okay.
it's gonna be on hard pack and they're gonna drop it. It's not gonna be attached to that.
There's no,
So I'm not quite sure, I don't quite understand, so what are these sort of scallopy lines?
If those are civil engineers boundary lines. So if you look up there, you'll see something that looks more, right, you see the little notch there on lot 77.
Yeah,
That is the area of interest.
okay,
Notch.
In between
And
the.
off the.
Right there.
There, yeah.
And your neighbor that seems okay with it is which is it?
poles are 78. See, we own down to the street, which is Cherry Lane. We own down to there. And the dotted line you see, we're the first driveway in Enfield.
Oh, okay.
So the rest
Yeah.
is Grantham.
Grantham down here.
And if you go down to Sunset Walk, you gotta go down a gradual hill and you're on the beach.
Beach, right?
That's Cherry Lane, right? You go down to North Cove. So if you pass our house, you've got 2 more houses, 2 more driveways.
And then the
And
beach,
then you've got North Cove Beach.
yeah.
We don't, we don't have lake views, so we're not considered on lake.
Well, if you
And
go
how
there,
far
you
is
go
that,
down Hog Road,
you know,
and
from
go
the-
Bear Road. and Bear Road
where?
is
Yeah.
very nice.
the
Property.
corner of your property down to the beach? You know how many approximate?
I think he's got that.
Is it possible to see it with trees?
241 feet.
What are you looking at?
See, I just measured from the corner of their property
Yeah.
to the beach, approximately 239, 229 feet.
Oh, okay.
That red line,
So we don't have to worry about the lake
Okay, good.
setbacks then.
Now, where's the stream?
Okay, our stream,
Part of a runoff, but
Down in
it
the
goes
green
down
part.
along the green, right where that little, runs right
Can I-
along where
I
the
can
road
show
is.
it,
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
in a couple of,
it
cut
little,
maybe.
little bit of close, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
it.
can't-
It goes underneath the road and then it comes out and then it goes right into the lake.
it's a drainage swale. more.
Yeah,
It's not running water year round.
no,
No,
summer it dries up.
I'd like to make an observation. This property is covered by Eastman's covenants and they are,
And all this
Consider-
slopes down to that swell.
Celia.
The other.
Celia, can you hear me?
What?
I'm sorry. Can I make an observation? You
Sure, go ahead.
Um. This whole property is covered by Eastman and their covenants are stricter than our zoning generally. I think it could be simplified to. I think it could be a pretty simple decision. If I were to make a finding of fact that Eastman's covenants are more restrictive than our zoning standards generally.
I will say. I do think that they stated pretty strong, basis in their application too.
Yeah.
To meet the criteria, but I'm sure you probably already put this in there, but there are some unique characteristics of this land, of this lot, that do kind of make this. That's the place to put it if you're gonna do it. The only person that would be affected by it is your neighbor that sent an email in support of it.
Well, and I
Could you,
believe that you said that Eastman had already approved it, and it was the Eastman covenants that wanted wanted our approval.
right, well, we went,
they have to.
we have to,
That's right.
we
They're
had to
covered by
get
us, too.
approval from you and approval from Eastman.
And you got it
So-
from them
Yes,
in writing.
yes,
Arguably, that's one of the.
yes,
No, they are harder.
yes.
I would like to make the board aware, this is the conservation district of the county,
Yeah,
okay? And N is, the setbacks. So there's two things that are wrong
okay.
in the ordinance.
And Rob, can you give us the setbacks from the road, the side? And I think we said there's no
It's a number,
wetlands.
What the setbacks are, they're 20 feet from the street and 15 to lot boundaries. In the Eastman subdivision. Which is closer to our R1 standard.
And do we agree that this is not covered by a wetlands buffer? Not subject to a wetlands
No.
buffer? Is that true, Sue?
Yeah, it's more than 200 feet. You say 239?
Okay. What I was trying to get to about this being covered by a more restrictive covenant is that if we're considering evaluation of neighboring properties, if we're considering character of the neighborhood, if we're considering spirit of the ordinance, I think they're having met the more restrictive covenants in the Eastman Village. They cover all of those, they've already demonstrated that they covered, that they
And
met
the
those criteria.
property values thing as well.
That's what I meant by the
Yeah.
evaluation of property.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard the bit about unique characteristics of the property, but I don't remember what they were. Could somebody tell me again?
Slope.
Bill and
There, there's a slope. If you're looking from Sunset Walk, the house, the property slopes down to Cherry.
It's like a cup.
And then
Yeah,
you have,
it is.
It's like a cup, you can't put anything
you
there.
have a stream goes there as well.
Right, it dries up in the summer, but
But so it's seasonal wetland as well as, right? That's,
yeah, we
Yeah.
couldn't put it in front of our house because it would sit on
it
our
would
leach field.
impact the septic. So those are all box you into one location. That's it.
Oh, the fill is already there.
Well, that was the beauty of it.
Well, yeah, that's, it's already hard. And you said no slab?
No slab,
No.
hard pack.
It's hard pack, and then they're putting, Carriage Head has a pressure treated floor or wood floor
Mhm.
that goes on directly on the hard pack.
Those look nice, I've seen them. Down
Yeah.
there up by the VA.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So what's the actual fee here from the property line to that? To the back of the shed?
It's going to be from the property line to the back of the shed is going to be, depending on how they set it, because it's modular. 5 to 6 feet from the property line.
5 to 6 feet?
Mhm.
For us, I'm gonna write 5 feet.
Okay.
How wide is the driveway?
2 cars.
At
Cars
best,
wide.
Well, there were 4 cars there.
We must have been
It's a
having
nice
something.
wide driveway.
Yeah, it's two, for the most part, it's 2 cars
Two
wide.
cars, and then it's in that little turnabout, you could,
We
fit-
can fit,
before they put the shed there, you could fit 2 more.
Yeah. But it's all fill. I mean.
right,
Yes,
you
that
couldn't
part of the
do anything
driveway,
To that lot without a whole lot of fill.
and yes. Are you gonna have to put hard pack down or?
it's already
It's already
there.
Gosh, lots of lot.
Yeah, lots of rocks.
You have, easement, it's water, right? You guys have your water.
Yes.
Yeah, we're on the village water district.
Sort of mind-boggling how extensive their water is. Pretty much every property has some water, right?
Yes, I believe so.
There's, over by Hummingbird, they have town water.
Okay.
And that's failing more than our water district does, believe it or not. But yeah, for the most part. And they monitor it for obvious reasons very closely.
The number of doctors and police officers that live in Eastman.
Oh, yeah.
And we're in between.
It's a lot of cops.
Yeah, there are. A lot of state troopers.
Yep.
Yeah,
And the
Well,
other
how
lot
did we
line,
get that handle on Enfield?
Oh,
Cause
boot heel,
the people who.
What?
the boot heel.
Yeah, the boot
Because
heel.
the
How did
people
we get
who
that?
lived there, I can't remember the name of the family, it was a pair of brothers. And they found it more convenient to go to meeting in Enfield than go to meeting in Grantham, so they petitioned to join the town of Enfield.
And they were fairly well connected.
Yes,
I
and
understand.
Enfield said fine,
Good to know.
because
It
it was
was
easier
in
to
the,
get,
the
to go down
Adams?
that way than to go over the
Right,
hill.
she's got
back.
history. Very interesting. Grantham was much bigger.
Hmm.
And they gave a whole bunch of land to Plainfield too. We basically
really?
grew by 40%.
We have Enfield, Springfield, and Grantham, with the bulk of Eastman being Grantham. There are some people in Eastman that don't even know that Enfield has a portion of Eastman.
Yeah.
It's true.
is it?
Oh, we do have the secret little exit up Bear Drive. You can come
Yes,
through
we
Proctor's
do.
door.
That's how we came.
And that's where I go.
That's how we go.
Pretty neat, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, what, it goes Bear Drive, goes by
Bear Road.
Proctor?
Bear Road.
Bear Road to Bob.
Oh, from Bob, right.
And you
Down
turn
to
right
the
on Bear Road and
Right.
it takes you to Cherry Lane and you jog to Sunset Walk.
Right.
Yeah, but when does it come by Proctor?
this is
You mean by
What-
Bog Road?
Bog
Oh,
Road,
oh,
bang
I thought you
left
meant
That's how
it
it's
was
end
some
of
other
Bog.
secret thing they got
Oh, no.
behind Proctor.
Bog
Yeah.
Road.
It's our back door,
Five.
which is how we go everywhere over here.
Because otherwise, how would you get in and out off of?
Draper,
Well,
What?
Draper.
we would do
Oh.
Draper Road
If you wanna ask.
off of 110,
It's a walk.
10,
so-
and,
Hmm.
or we do the Eastman main entrance, which we rarely do.
Never use the Eastman access road. It goes on forever.
It goes right around. the
Doesn't
lake.
it?
And then you end up down by the, you end up down by the water. How did I get here? Yeah. Yeah.
When
You're like,
we
you're out with the
moved
water,
there,
it just ends.
I had to use my GPS for about 4 or 5 months when we first moved there. Cause you can really get
Yeah.
lost.
Which way is north? Up?
Up, yep.
Oh.
At least we don't have to take care of that lake. We have 5 lakes,
I know,
a lot of second homes.
and we keep a boat, little sailboat on Mascoma.
We have
do.
we have a relevant question we'd like to have answered.
Can you just explain to me, you attached all these deeds. Excuse me,
Guys?
and what are they telling us? Because your friend, your neighbor has no problem with it, right?
Right.
No, I don't, why did
Did he
he,
write,
Yes, it's.
I
did he
think,
write a, thing?
no,
An email.
there's an email from Melanie Holzer.
Okay, so okay, because I wanted to know why you had the deeds attached.
There was logic about why I did that at the time, but I can't remember why I did it.
Attach the deed.
Maybe I
Yeah.
did it the Eastman, so I did it for you.
We asked.
Probably true.
Covenant restrictions.
The neighbor said, this sounds great, fine by us, exclamation point. Succinct.
More than that, what more do you want?
Easements and water rights reserved to grantors. The other thing I wanted to raise was the possibility of, I know you said something about it, but any possibility of putting it closer to your gardens.
That's where the septic is.
That you have a leach field, you mean? And
Or-
is the garden?
Yes, that's
garden?
why. I grew
Yeah,
up.
that's right underneath the gardens, yeah. The tank is right in the garden.
You're not supposed to do that. Each field distributes.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Very
but-
complicated.
I wouldn't go on each field.
Oh, not-
Vegetables anyway, vegetables.
No, no, no.
It's not
just-
vegetables,
oh,
flowers.
it's wildflowers.
I hear garden, I assume.
No,
vegetables.
it's a woodland garden because we're all shade.
Watching
I
this.
wonder if it'd be like sugar, spaghetti sauce.
Just bring a scratch over.
Yeah,
15. And you couldn't move that anymore away from the property line. You got 7 feet.
We couldn't be able to maneuver because of the driveway.
Couldn't get anything in there. Be difficult.
Width of that. driveway.
Yeah, we're right at the edge of that drive, where
that driveway is, where that edge of the shed would go.
And the lower end of the driveway is not to car widths.
A lot of fill. Like gray area.
I'm just writing the words that are necessary.
It happened way before we bought, so.
Are you year-round residents?
Yeah,
now?
we are.
There. And now you can see, you can even see their rocks.
It's an old picture.
Yeah, you can see the rock.
Yeah,
All right.
true, but,
I have a motion. Is there any other questions before will I move this and then you guys can discuss it? And
No, we'll move it. You can't move it. You're the chair.
I can make motion.
You sure? I move that we grant the variance.
Second, I move we amend the motion.
Yeah.
Been a long day, hasn't it?
Let me read what I wrote and you get, and if you guys like it, somebody can claim it. All right. Approve variance to allow placement of a new modular 18-foot by 20-foot shed within 5 feet of the west sideline, semicolon. By having obtained approval from Eastman, the applicant has demonstrated meeting the first 4 criteria. Dash, Eastman's covenants are considerably more strict than Enfield zoning ordinance. Dash. And because the lot is fully used and denying placement of the shed, denying this placement of the shed would needlessly make hardship.
That's a good motion. I'll do that. You want to second it now?
Sure, I'll second that.
So you got
Discussion?
your motion and your second.
Discussion? No, I see none. Celia, you good? You want to ask? Good,
What's the setback to the wetland?
there is none.
There isn't any, it's on the other side of the property.
This, the stream, you mean? Well, how far are you from the stream with this? Cause there is a 50-foot setback.
Oh, it's more than that.
It's a seasonal stream, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a drainage swell, isn't that what we discussed?
Well,
Right.
if it,
It says,
if it's wet most of the year, if it has any vegetation in it that it's considered, it goes into your lake.
No.
there's a 75-foot setback from the septic to the wet area with it. On the wet. So that means it, I would say
Looks like this.
at least
Looks
50
like
feet.
this, yeah. Looks like the boundary of the wetlands right there.
Yeah, well, that's what this.
Yeah, I
says,
mean,
that's
if it
what
has the
this is,
septic
right?
inspection.
This
Septic
here,
said that it was a-
thinking this right here. is
It's the Eastman.
50 foot line.
That's all we need to know.
I agree.
Yeah, it's 70, this is 75-foot
Okay,
setback.
I think you're
wet
okay
septic-
on that.
Septic.
Thank you.
That's what I think. What's the road frontage, the width of the lot at the road?
165.
Okay. I just didn't know if I was looking at a 50-foot wide lot or. So that makes it even easier for me then. I measured it.
Here, here, 55 feet. Here.
That picture was clearly taken.
I didn't have any sense of how wide this lot was.
At all. I didn't say I'm melting.
50-foot wide.
It shows.
We've had some trees taken down at this one because none have been taken
Nowhere near
down.
50 feet.
They're like.
All right.
Right.
People throw it.
Okay, any further discussion? Any other questions?
No.
All right, the question before you is long-winded. You've heard it recently. Call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I hear 5 ayes. Thank you for loud ayes.
If I was
Nays?
voting, it would be aye.
Alright.
For the mom.
So it's 5 plus a support.
Yes,
All right.
yes, a shadow eye, like that, shadow
A
eye,
supportive eye.
stunt double.
You got your permission from Enfield.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for your patience with us this evening.
Oh, my gosh.
It's an education.
And we do prepare, if we're actually talking, I think you'll get a copy.
Okay, probably heard us talking about that.
Yeah.
We just want to make
Decision,
sure
so you
it's
can put in
all,
your files.
Okay.
and that way,
Easier to read.
you can give a copy of that to the
Okay.
Eastman homeowner.
Well, they want it.
Decision. could take-
That was the one thing they, after they approved
I don't
it,
get it back, but
they said,
I
when
don't get
you
it.
get that,
that's how I
mail that to us too.
You can find you an
Then I would
Powers
probably
that be.
tell them you're gonna have some nice Nicaraguan
I'll get you
paper
the copy
come
of this.
installed.
Let me just, okay. And then
Just
you got it.
see-
I don't know who's installing.
Okay, did you two
The
go through
carriage
this
that-
already? What's
I
that?
went through half of them, I went through the second
I
half.
went
but not the
through
first
them
half.
and
Set?
there are a couple
I
of
think
things,
we are.
they're like this.
Thank you very much, everyone.
They have-
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. There are a lot of common errors and,
Thank you so much.
yes,
Okay.
and that didn't make any sense. And this is missing. And
Yeah, oh no.
so we need to go over them. If you want to postpone it to next week. Okay.
Yeah.
But here, this is just missing. And
Yes,
that's
you
not
at line
quite clear.
171.
And, that, so why don't we do it?
Wow.
Let me tell her about the comma
I
thing.
can't get
And
to what's on the right on my computer. It's just a special program.
This is right.
No, this is it, so you can put this little.
So
This little
sometime
navigation.
during normal business hours.
3 bars right there, and it
Yeah.
points out for you. We have all those on.
There are things that need to be discussed, and the other
I
thing
haven't been
is,
able.
there's no
I'll do
mention
that.
in minutes that
Because
the
I
town
do get
doesn't
all
really
these
have to
things.
ask.
Boy, I can't get that.
I
Now
love this
I
too.
know.
I love this. This is
But
new.
you see these
They just
columns
changed it.
after.
Oh, okay, great.
There are a lot of those,
The
and
tech
there's
specialist.
another one,
Did you mark all of them?
yeah.
You want to just give it direct,
Well, I'll just mention. Yeah. I'll give it to her and we can talk on, we can,
Susan, I'll give you the one, I didn't do the first half because I needed to sit down and really concentrate on it, but I did.
well, there's a piece missing that has to go in.
Where it starts with Chief Holland.
Oh,
who's
yes.
here.
Can we,
There's-
can we, as a board, agree to delegate the task of reviewing the minutes to our minute review subcommittee?
I would be totally in favor of that.
So that's fine with me, but how are we gonna?
Something's left out that I want.
Well, Whitney and I will meet.
All right,
Okay, so here's,
And I don't know where it was.
Whitney.
It's when
you
I
and
said
will
we
meet,
don't
but-
want
But
to
this
look like
thing that's
what's
missing, we
living.
gotta do as a group.
it's not
we
in there.
can't-
That's important.
Yeah, we
I'm
can't.
sorry, I'm trying to hear two different things and I'm
Oh.
not hearing both of them. I
On
think
page
we want to
3.
put off
Yeah.
approving the minutes because there's there's
Not
at least been
much.
too much to do tonight. I think that
On page 5, line 171, 172, there's stuff missing.
I don't think there was anything there. Cause it says Mr. Godhard asked if they specified often to change the sign. And then it goes on, so I started
And
to
it
wonder,
says Chief Holland, but it doesn't say
does
what
he
he said.
answer or does Mr. Godhard go on about the sign? Does he just keep talking? That was also my question. Maybe
No, because Chief Holland did
you
speak.
think Chip Holland did respond.
He did speak.
I'll check the recording.
okay,
Yeah.
that would be good.
Can you, Can you check
There's a
One
bunch of
other thing.
comma faults that I can show you, and there's another couple of
West
things.
Leadfield doesn't wanna look like West Lebanon.
Whitney,
said
why
that
don't you call me
probably
and we'll
somewhere
get
in the-
together? Yeah.
All right, so
maybe
Whitney and
we'll get
Susan are
together.
gonna get together and talk about syntactical.
Yeah.
Part that I'd marked up.
Oh, good.
I hadn't done
Did you
the
get
first. I hadn't
Celia's
done- I
correction?
did that
Okay,
today,
there was
but-
nothing on the
Yeah, I
first
told
page.
her.
Right,
on
but
the
the,
Give her a chance to
But
finish
then
what
it
she's
got
doing.
on.
Okay.
you want me?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Because that's
Call
true.
me and we'll get
Exactly
together
why we did
when it's convenient for you.
Did those restrictions in the zoning. Cause we don't want it looking like West Lebanon or,
True, and we
you
talked about
know. And that's true, you want it to look nice and inviting, you don't want it to
Take care
sign.
of that.
I just actually,
Oh, yeah.
So-
That's what I wanted you to do.
All right,
Yeah, I will.
I didn't actually abstain either.
And then
From-
we'll
On the
correct
vote on
them
the
and bring
sign,
them
I
for
voted no.
approval at the next meeting.
yeah, I recall that as well.
I voted no, so that was my only.
Got that, Whitney?
I'm saying that they were gonna go ahead.
Yeah,
But I
well, the
think-
reason I voted no is just because I voted no on Bergeron and I told this guy across the street no, and now
Bergeron started.
The book, getting ready to
Remember
put
the
that
law
sign
changed
in,
between
I
those,
understand
and
that,
I'm okay with, just
I
point
just-
out,
and
I didn't like it either.
you know what's gonna really make me sad? When they cut down one of those trees in front of the community building for
Yeah.
that sign.
All right, so we're not approving the minutes
Watch
tonight,
it will.
I move that we adjourn.
all in favor?
Trust me, that will get people excited. Those trees
Three?
were specifically spared when they built that building. And